Welcome to another episode of What the Flip Ever Happened. Nemesis Subterra was quite a good ride, and then in 2016, after the crash on the Smiler happened, they closed this ride and it went under protection by a different company that protects the world. Now, not many people would usually know that, but I thought I wanted to tell you guys. We wouldn't really know, but if you don't know much about the Smiler crash in 2015, I know what happened, but not very well. What happened in 2015 was What happened was 16 people were in one carriage of the Smiler ride, the other was empty. Alton Towers said the guests were involved. It was the most serious accident in the park's history. And then you might be able to see at the end of the video some photos. History of problems. So, a group of 16 journalists were left standing on a steep angle as they tried out the roller coaster before it opened to the public. The ride was shut for 4 days in July 2013 after a piece fell off the track and 48 people were rescued. It closed again in August 2013 for 5 days due to a technical issue. And then, in November of 2013, it closed for 5 days after its wheel fell off and hit 4 people in the front carriage. Riders were also left stranded in the air when it went into a halt about 14 months ago. Loud crash. Alice Dyson, who was in the queue for a ride, the ride was delayed due to a technical fault for a while, and then the ride came back on. They sent out a carriage without any people in it, and they sent out a carriage with people on that one crash. The platform of the ride were vibrated and there was a massive loud crash. And I think that concludes the part of my story video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks and bye. I think there'll be a part 2 as well, so bye. The Smiler crash was really unexplainable, but what happened was numerous errors were coming on the screen, and I didn't know what happened. So, the Smiler was operating normally on June 2nd, 2015, with revelers enjoying its high speed through the terrifying turns and twists. Despite the strong winds blowing outside the theme park, which led bosses to close the Sky Ride around this time, the Smiler was still operating in 46 mph winds, despite the guidance saying it should not operate in speeds over 34 miles an hour. However, shortly after 1 p.m, an operator of the ride became aware of a warning light on the rider's control panel, which indicated a fault. She immediately removed visitors from the ride and called for help from the theme park's engineers. The ride had been operating with 4 passenger carriages on the track. However, staff had been told to add a 5th carriage because of the number of visitors at the theme park. A member of staff decided that the ride was currently empty of passengers. It would be a good time to put the extra carriage on the tracks. Whilst the 5th train was being added, staff sent out an empty carriage around the track to check that the ride was operating normally. But the empty train failed to make it up an incline, and warning systems were evacuated through the ride. 2 electrical engineers arrived to help fix the problem. However, there was a huge breakdown in communication, and they were not told by the colleagues the 5th train had been added to the track. The engineers successfully got the empty train working again and processed to restart the ride again. at 1:40 p.m, with staff preparing to allow visitors back onto the ride, they sent another track onto it at 1:40. But then at 1:41 p.m, the train fails to complete loops and rolls back down the track. But then the train comes to a standstill in a valley of the track, where the test failing to make the loop, it eventually comes to the rest of the valley of the track. Although this was not known to the staff, the ride was handed back to the operator, who allowed passengers to board. At 1:43 p.m, the train packed with passengers stopped at the top of lift 1. That's the first lift 1 is. However, as it climbed from the first incline from the smiler, the ride's computer system stopped it from moving ahead, indicating that a section of the track was occupied. That is when the failure was. The carriage stopped while engineers looking why the ride alert had activated. One of the engineers, still not aware that the 5th train was on the track, identified the 4 positions of the 4 trains. However, they didn't see the empty carriage sitting on the track. The reporter said that the engineer felt pressure to get the ride working and quickly, and that error could be to mistaken priorities. At 1:51 p.m, train packed with passengers released from the top of lift 1. Thinking the ride was safe again, the engineer simultaneously pressed a button with the colleague, which overrode the safety warning, blocking the carriage full of passengers from moving ahead. This resulted in the packed train moving ahead, with staff and workers hurtling towards the empty carriage. At 1:51 p.m, packed carriage crashes into the empty train, causing a deafening boom. Dramatic TV footage released showing the hearing shows of the carriage slamming into the stranded car, causing devastation to those on board. Passengers with the train saw with disbelief and horror that they were going to crash into the empty carriage. The impact of the crash was similar to a 90-mile-per-hour crash. So then, guys, that's how the Smiler crash happened. So then, whilst they closed all the other rides whilst they were trying to fix that one. But when they were trying to fix that one, they shut down Nemesis Terra. That's why, and then it's been held down by the military since 2015 now. So thank you guys for watching again, and peace.